creepy.
They have the old-fashioned setup going over there. This
I
is
know,
the new way.
I know, I know. This is the way it is.
Yeah.
They gotta get with it. Jeez.
It's true.
All right, so to jump into this, first off, I gotta say, my favorite film of the festival.
Oh, wow.
So far, I
Thank you.
love the hell out of it.
Thank you. Thanks.
Phenomenal, and it couldn't have been that way without you.
It's very kind of you.
So, what?
Thank you so much.
Oh, boy.
How did you first get into this?
See, our cameras?
I know,
Fine.
we're
Batteries.
fine.
Suckers.
How did you first get into it? You know, how did you get the script, and what interested you?
I got the script the way I always get scripts, but it was actually a good one, which doesn't come along very often. And then I met Mark Webb, the director,
Right.
and I loved him. I had that connection that you don't always get with someone. You feel like this is a genuinely creative and collaborative person who doesn't just talk but listens. And he's a really great filmmaker, storyteller. And the main selling point, of course, for me though was that Zooey Deschanel was playing Summer.
Right.
And she and I worked together on a movie called Manic, almost 8 or 9 years ago now, when we were teenagers. It was actually my first Sundance, and her first Sundance as well. And I jumped at the chance to work with her again, and I hope I get to do a third movie with her, and a fourth and a fifth. I absolutely adore her. I think she's one of the most honest and vibrant artists going today.
Yeah.
You can hear it in her songs, you can see it interacting. She's fantastic.
Yeah. You mentioned with Mark Webb, was there any cross-collaboration going on between you two? Like, did you work with him beyond just your role?
I love working with a director that includes me in all the creative process. And that's not to say that I was had say in the way he was going to cut it or score it or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he just let me know what was on his mind, and that informs me, and that really helps. And like at the beginning of shooting, Mark gave a gift to Zoe and to me of this little iPod where he had put all these songs that he was thinking about, and he had labeled them according to the scenes and the days of the 500 days. And so whenever we were about to do this or that scene, I could take out his iPod and listen to the music that he was thinking about for using for when he was going to cut it together later. And that's awesome. That's awesome, because oftentimes music's an afterthought with movies. It wasn't with Mark, and I think it shows that the movie really has a rhythm to it that I think is largely a result of how musical he is.
That's awesome. That's now that I know that, I've probably even more appreciation for it. Let's see. With the aspects of the character, do you find it more of a challenge for you to get into like the happier moments or the sadder moments? I mean, I can't
the happy moments were much easier.
Yeah.
Well, just because it's easy to feel, it's easy to get butterflies in your stomach looking at Zoe. It's just easy to feel like you're in love with her, and it was draining to do the scenes where stuff wasn't working out.
And the question I asked this to Zoe as well, because I think this is really important for this film particularly, but with this, how did you make your character, which, and I don't take this negatively, but I hate to say, like, this is yet another romantic comedy. I mean that we've seen so many over the years, but how did you make this character so fresh and unique to be able to make it so amazing?
Well, I mean, everything's the same story, right? Nothing's original, in my opinion. It all comes from one origin.
Okay.
But the thing about 500 Days of Summer and the sort of tropes or the cliches of the genre is that it has those, but it plays with them. Because it's about them. It's about a character who's so steeped in this culture, these cliches, that it has impacted his point of view as to what love means. And so it's sort of a story of a guy's struggle with these cliches. And sorry, I got distracted. And so, I mean, to me, every good story, every good movie has some repetition and some deviation. If it's pure deviation, you wouldn't understand it. That's like some bracket shit or something like that, which is awesome. I love watching a Stan Brakhage movie. You know, it's like a Jackson Pollock movie or something like that, which is cool.
Right.
But to tell a human story that people can understand, you have to do some things that are familiar to them and some things that are new to them. Now, a lot of these genre movies that are kind of made more for money than anything, they don't have anything new. They just kind of go with, they just repeat what's been done before.
Right.
500 Days isn't that way. I think it's sort of a genuine and heartfelt movie, so it's more from unique individuals than just pandering to a formula.
Yeah.
But you have to pay homage to that formula because it's part of our lives.
Yeah. That's a good answer. I don't even know what to say in response. Can you talk about your dance scene in the film and just how fun that was to do?
Yeah, man. There's a scene in 500 Days of Summer, and it's right after the first time that my character has finally gotten to sleep with this girl that he's so in love with. And the morning after, he's on top of the world.
Yeah.
And, you know, the thing about this movie is it's not objective, it's subjective. It's more about how it feels than what it really looks like from some sort of, like, God's eye view. So, you know, the way it feels once you've finally done it is kind of like dancing. And so, there's this dance number where they had 30 or something, you know, dancers behind me that knew this choreography, and they taught me the choreography, and I did it, and I got to be that guy. And I was like, how did I get to be this one? And
Hell yeah,
you know, I grew up watching Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And like that's I mean, it's literally a dream come true.
Yeah. Cool. If we can, I don't know how much more time we have, but I want to jump into G.I. Joe and Cobra Commander a little bit if possible. And first question before we get into that, sort of like a segue, is do you prefer indies more than big films, or is there something that you find more challenging over one or the other?
Yeah, you know, it's a distinction a lot of people make. It's like indie or studio. I don't think it's really true. I don't think, to me, what's important is creative spirit and process. And when they showed me the designs that were drawn out of the way my character was going to look, that ignited that same creative spark in me as the script from 500 Days of Summer did, or as, like, when I saw Ryan Johnson's short film and I wanted to do Brick. It's the same feeling. It's the same, it's like, oh, wow, that would be fun to do. I think I could do that well, and I could learn from that, and I could, and that's, because it's what I love, is acting. This is an opportunity to get to do a kind of acting that I've never had a chance to do before, and that's why I wanted to do it.
And it was a lot of fun. Like, you're expecting this to be huge, and just, you know, that, I don't know. Obviously, we don't know anything about like how much stunt work you do, and just a lot of that. But is that what we're hoping to see coming up this summer?
It's fun. Going to work every day was like playing with action figures. It was really just like it.
Really?
I think that's what the movie will be like too.
Cool. The last question I just want to ask is, if you can answer, is what your favorite films are. Not to put you on the spot, but we love to ask.
Any films?
Yeah, anything.
Anything. Let's see. Well, let's see. What can I say? Well, let's make it interesting. There's a short film playing at Sundance this year that I got to write and direct, and it's adapted from an Elmore Leonard short story.
Right.
It's called Sparks.
Right.
And Elmore Leonard is the author of such books as Get Shorty and Out of Sight.
Right.
And so I'll talk to you about some of the best Elmore Leonard movies.
Okay.
Get Shorty and Out of Sight, which are both Scott Frank adaptations. Scott Frank's the guy that wrote The Lookout and directed The Lookout. Those are two like really good ones. Another one is Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
Jackie Brown, Quentin Tarantino nailed it. Totally got Elmore. And then a lesser known one that's really, really good from the 60s, a Western starring Paul Newman. It's called Hombre.
Okay.
It's also an Elmore Leonard adaptation. It's quintessential Elmore Leonard because it's a genre. It's a Western, just like Elmore Leonard always fits into. It's either usually a Western or a crime genre. But he always transcends that genre because it's not about these plot twists or formula, turns. It's always about the characters with Elmore Leonard. And they're always more than meets the eye. And the character that Paul Newman plays, you never know his name. in Ombre is, I think, one of the more subtle and interesting characters you've ever seen in a Western. Highly recommend checking that out.
That's awesome. That sounds